Namo Buddhaya.
Namo Buddhaya.
Namo Dharmaya.
Namo Dharmaya.
Namo Sanghaya.
Namo Sanghaya.
Namo Namah.
Namo Namah.
Om. Aham. Just sitting.
So before the puja this evening, Swadeepa will read from Bante's memoirs, the occasion when Bante received the green Tara sadhana from Chatra Rinpoche. Green Tara, of course, being strongly associated with Atisha, and Atisha being instrumental in the tradition of green Tara, coming into Tibet and remaining in Tibet. So I'm not sure exactly of the lineage, but I'm sure there is a one way or another direct lineage linking Atisha and Bante through that practice of green Tara. And it was said actually that Atisha was, I probably were getting this impression anyway, that he had this both kind of very affable, warm, even charming quality to him, but also this very incisive, direct wisdom, which is totally redolent of the qualities of green Tara. So we'll hear from Swadeepa about Bante's receiving of that initiation. Then after the worship section, Udara will lead the Avalokiteshvara mantra and come up and make offerings. After the entreaty and supplication stage, we'll hear from Rijimani, who'll be reading the kind of pithy summary at the end of the precept that we were looking at today. Even more of a condensation of the condensation that the precept was in the first place. And then after the transference of merit and self-surrender, Vijakara will lead us again in the Green Tara mantra. And I don't know about you, but for me, the retreat is beginning to bite. Particularly Atisha's relentless pursuit of Dharma and his exhortations to his disciples. We've been studying them now for 3 or 4 days, and they're just, certainly for me, they're really hitting home. And one common response, at least in me, to that is Mara rearing his head. I think I remember at one point Sadaloka saying on my ordination course, I think you quoted an evangelical TV pastor. I don't know, I can't quite remember how you arrived at that particular link, but anyway, the pastor was saying something like, you've never encountered the devil because you were always running in the same direction. With this material, it's very definitely, we're turning around and we're meeting Mara in all his tricks and so on. So whatever resistances there are, bring them into the puja, bring them in, offer them up in whichever stages is appropriate. There'll be joys, there'll be insights as well. Bring them into. See this puja as a way of giving over whatever the retreat is giving rise to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, particularly to Atisha, to Green Tara, and to Shakyamuni. In a way, the overcoming of Mara is more than what we're going to be able to do through our own efforts. Offer it up to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and let them help. Okay, so just settling in before the puja. And Swadeepa will read it in his own time.
Thus it was that on the morning of the 8th of March, I found myself in the presence of Chatrul Rinpoche, as he was called, who was staying at Turpai, a village on the other side of the town, on the way up Dailo Hill. I do not know what I had expected the celebrated Nyingma Lama to look like, but in any case I received something like a shock when we met. He was of indeterminate age, perhaps somewhere between 35 and 45, or even 50. His coarse black hair was cut short like a monk's, and he was clad in a nondescript maroon garment, lined with what appeared to be grubby sheepskin. What I was most struck by, however, was his face, which was coarse and unrefined almost to the point of brutality, and could easily have passed for that of a horny-handed peasant with no thought beyond his pigs and poultry. At the same time, his whole being communicated such an impression of rock-like strength and reliability that one could not but feel reassured. And with Sonam Topgay as interpreter, it was not long before the two of us were deep in discussion. As was proper, Chatrul Rinpoche took the lead, and asked me a number of questions. First about the Vinaya, or code of monastic discipline, and then about the Abhidharma. I must have answered the questions to his satisfaction, for from the Abhidharma we progressed through what intermediate steps I no longer recollect, to meditation and meditational experience. So I was able to tell him about the Bombay friend who received, in a state of trance, teachings and directives which he believed came from God. To what extent did he think these could be accepted? Chatrul Rinpoche's reply was in agreement with the conclusion at which I had already arrived. Teachings and directives received in a state of trance, whether by oneself or by another person, were not to be accepted uncritically, but were to be subjected to the test of reason and experience, and compared with the Buddha Vachana, or the word of the Buddha, as explained by the enlightened masters of India and Tibet. By this time I had developed considerable confidence in the Rinpoche, and I therefore asked him to tell me who my yidam, or tutelary deity, was. Far from showing surprise at my request, he seemed quite pleased, and after a moment of inner recollection, he told me that my yidam was Dolma Dunga, or Green Tara, the female bodhisattva of fearlessness and spontaneous helpfulness, adding that Tara had been the tutelary deity of many of the great pandits of India and Tibet. He then proceeded to bestow on me the appropriate initiation, first giving me the 10-syllable mantra, which he pronounced very forcefully, after which he explained the sadhana, or spiritual practice, which would enable me to identify myself with Green Tara and call down the blessing of the bodhisattvas on myself and on all sentient beings. The latter he did at some length, so it was mid-afternoon when I finally bade Chatrul Rinpoche a grateful farewell, having spent 4 hours in his company. My mood was one of considerable elation.
The Sevenfold Puja. Firstly, worship. With Mandarava, blue lotus and jasmine.
With Mandarava, blue lotus and jasmine.
With all flowers pleasing and fragrant.
With all flowers pleasing and fragrant.
And with garlands skillfully woven.
And with garlands skillfully woven.
I pay honour to the princes of the sages.
I pay honour to the princes of the sages.
So worthy of veneration.
So worthy of veneration.
I envelop them in clouds of incense.
I envelop them in clouds of incense.
Sweet and penetrating.
Sweet and penetrating.
I make them offerings of food hard and soft.
I make them offerings of food hard and soft.
And pleasing kinds of liquids to drink.
And pleasing kinds of liquids to drink.
I offer them lamps encrusted with jewels.
I offer them lamps encrusted with jewels.
Festooned with golden lotus.
Festooned with golden lotus.
On the paving sprinkled with perfume.
On the paving sprinkled with perfume.
I scatter handfuls of beautiful flowers.
I scatter handfuls of beautiful flowers.
Om Mani Padme Hum.
Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani
Salutation.
As many atoms as there are,
As many atoms as there are,
in the 1,000,000,000 worlds,
in the 1,000,000,000 worlds,
so many times I make reverent salutation
so many times I make reverent salutation
to all the Buddhas of the 3 eras,
to all the Buddhas of the 3 eras,
to the Dharma,
to the Dharma,
and to the excellent community.
and to the excellent community.
I pay homage to all the shrines
I pay homage to all the shrines
and places in which the Bodhisattvas have been.
and places in which the Bodhisattvas have been.
I make profound obeisance to the teachers
I make profound obeisance to the teachers
and those to whom respectful salutation is due.
and those to whom respectful salutation is due.
Going for refuge. This very day,
This very day,
I go for my refuge
I go for my refuge
to the powerful protectors
to the powerful protectors,
whose purpose is to guard the universe,
whose purpose is to guard the universe,
the mighty conquerors who overcome suffering everywhere.
the mighty conquerors who overcome suffering everywhere.
Wholeheartedly also I take my refuge.
Wholeheartedly also I take my refuge.
In the Dharma they have ascertained,
In the Dharma they have ascertained,
which is the abode of security against the rounds of rebirth.
which is the abode of security against the rounds of rebirth.
Likewise in the host of bodhisattvas,
Likewise in the host of bodhisattvas,
I take my refuge.
I take my refuge.
Namo tassa,
Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo tassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi Buddhang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi Dhammang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi Sanghang saranang gacchami. Anatipata verily sikkhapadam sammadiyami. Atilatana verily sikkhapadam sammadiyami. Kamesu miccachara verily sikkhapadam sammadiyami. Musavada verily sikkhapadam sammadiyami. Arusavachaya verily sikkhapadam sammadiyami. Sampapalapa verily sikkhapadam sammadiyami. Visuddhavacchaya verily sikkhapadam sammadiyami. Avijjaya verily sikkhapadam sammadiyami. Vyapada verily sikkhapadam sammadiyami. Micchaditya verily sikkhapadam sammadiyami. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. With deeds of loving kindness, I purify my body. With open-handed generosity, I purify my body. With stillness, simplicity, and contentment, I purify my body. With truthful communication, I purify my speech. With kindly communication, I purify my speech. With helpful communication, I purify my speech. With harmonious communication, I purify my speech. Abandoning covetousness for tranquility, I purify my mind. Changing hatred into compassion, I purify my mind. Transforming ignorance into wisdom, I purify my mind.
Confession of faults. The evil that I have heaped up,
The evil that I have heaped up,
through my ignorance and foolishness,
through my ignorance and foolishness,
evil in the world of everyday experience,
evil in the world of everyday experience,
as well as evil in understanding and intelligence,
as well as evil in understanding and intelligence,
all that I acknowledge to the protectors,
all that I acknowledge to the protectors,
standing before them,
standing before them,
with hands raised in reverence,
with hands raised in reverence,
and terrified of suffering,
and terrified of suffering.
I pay salutations again and again.
I pay salutations again and again.
May the leaders receive this kindly,
May the leaders receive this kindly,
just as it is with its many faults.
just as it is with its many faults.
What is not good, O protectors,
What is not good, O protectors,
I shall not do again.
I shall not do again.
Rejoicing in merit. I rejoice with delight
I rejoice with delight
in the good done by all beings,
in the good done by all beings,
through which they obtain rest,
through which they obtain rest,
with the end of suffering.
with the end of suffering.
May those who have suffered be happy.
May those who have suffered be happy.
I rejoice in the release of beings
I rejoice in the release of beings
from the sufferings of the rounds of existence.
from the sufferings of the rounds of existence.
I rejoice in the nature of the Bodhisattva
I rejoice in the nature of the Bodhisattva
and the Buddha,
and the Buddha,
who are protectors.
who are protectors.
I rejoice in the arising of the will to enlightenment
I rejoice in the arising of the will to enlightenment
and the teaching,
and the teaching,
those oceans that bring happiness to all beings,
those oceans that bring happiness to all beings,
and are the abode of welfare of all beings.
and are the abode of welfare of all beings.
Entreaty and supplication. Saluting them with folded hands,
Saluting them with folded hands,
I entreat the Buddhas in all the quarters.
I entreat the Buddhas in all the quarters.
May they make shine the lamp of the Dharma
May they make shine the lamp of Dharma
for those wandering in the suffering of delusion.
for those wandering in the suffering of delusion.
With hands folded in reverence,
With hands folded in reverence,
I implore the conquerors desiring to enter nirvana.
I implore the conquerors desiring to enter Nirvana.
May they remain here for endless ages,
May they remain here for endless ages,
so that life in this world does not grow dark.
so that life in this world is not dark.
In short, staying in a monastery will not be helpful if you do not reverse your obsession for fine things and do not renounce the activities of this life. For if you do not cut off these inclinations, thinking that you can work for the aims of both this and future lives, you will perform nothing but incidental religious practice. This type of practice is nothing but hypocritical and pretentious practice done for selfish gain. Therefore, you should always seek spiritual friends and shun bad company. Do not become settled in one place or accumulate many things. Whatever you do, do in harmony with the Dharma. Let whatever you do be a remedy for the fettering passions. This is actually religious practice. Make great effort to do this. As your knowledge increases, do not be possessed by the demon of pride. Staying in an isolated place, subdue yourself. Have few desires and be contented. Neither delight in your own knowledge nor seeking out the faults of others. Do not be fearful or anxious. Be of good will and have no prejudice. Concentrate on the Dharma when distracted by wrong things. Be humble, and if you are defeated, accept it gracefully. Give up boastfulness. Renounce desire. Always generate the compassionate mind. Whatever you do, do in moderation. Be easily pleased and easily sustained. Run like a wild animal from whatever would entrap you. If you do not renounce worldly existence, do not say you are holy. If you have not renounced land and agriculture, do not say you have entered the priesthood. If you do not renounce desire, do not say you are a bhikkhu. If you are without love and compassion, do not say you are a bodhisattva. If you do not renounce activity, do not say you are a great meditator. Do not cherish your desires. In short, when you stay at a monastery, engage in few activities and just meditate on the Dharma. Do not have cause for repentance at the time of death.
The Heart Sutra. The Bodhisattva of compassion,
when you meditated deeply, saw the emptiness of all five skandhas, and sundered the bonds that caused him suffering. Here then, form is no other than emptiness, emptiness no other than form. Form is only emptiness, emptiness only form. Feeling, thought, and choice, consciousness itself, are the same as this. All things are by nature void. They are not born or destroyed, nor are they stained or pure, nor do they wax or wane. So, in emptiness, no form, no feeling, thought, or choice, nor is there consciousness. No eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, no colour, sound, smell, taste, touch, or what the mind takes hold of, nor even act of sensing. No ignorance or end of it, nor all that comes of ignorance. No withering, no death, no end of them. Nor is there pain or cause of pain, or ceasing pain or noble path to lead from pain. Not even wisdom to attain. Attainment too is emptiness. So know that the Bodhisattva, holding to nothing whatever, but dwelling in perennial wisdom, is freed of delusive hindrance, rid of the fear bred by it, and reaches clearest nirvana. All Buddhas of past and present, Buddhas of future times, using this perennial wisdom, come to full and perfect vision. Hear then the great Dharma, the radiant fearless mantra, the Prajnaparamita, whose words allay all pain. Hear and believe its truth. Gate, gate, paragate, parasangate, bodhisvaha. Gate, Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhi Swaha Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhi Swaha.
Transference of merit and self-surrender. May the merit gained in my acting thus go to the alleviation of the suffering of all beings. My personality throughout my existences. My possessions. And my merit in all three ways. I give up without regard to myself. For the benefit of all beings. Just as the earth and other elements are serviceable in many ways. To the infinite number of beings. Inhabiting limitless space. So may I become. That which maintains all beings. Situated throughout space. So long as all have not attained. To peace.
Om Tare Tu Re Swaha. 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 Om Tare Tu Re Swaha.
Om Mani Padme Hum.
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 Om Marapachanadi.
Om Marapachanadi.
Om Marapachanadi.
Om Marapachanadi.
Om Marapachanadi.
Om Marapachanadi.
Om Vajrapani Hum.
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 Om Tare Tu Re Swaha.
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 Om Amideva Hri.
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 Om Muni Muni Mahamuni Shakyamuni Swaha. Shakyamuni Swaha.
Om Muni Mahamuni Shakyamuni Swaha.
Om Muni Muni Mahamuni Shakyamuni Swaha.
Om Muni Mahamuni Shakyamuni Swaha.
Om Ahung Vajraguru Padma Siddhi Hung.
Om Ahum Vajraguru Padma Siddhi Hum.
Om Ahung Vajraguru Padma Siddhi Hung.
Om Ahum Vajraguru Padma Siddhi Hum.
Om Ahung Vajraguru Padma Siddhi Hung.
Om Ahum Vajraguru Padma Siddhi Hum.
Gate Gate Paragate Parasangate Bodhiswaha.
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 Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
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 Shanti.